Are you new to charcoal cooking?
Are you new to the Weber kettle?
Well, if you want to be known as a grill master, there's some things you got to know. In this series, we've already gone through smoked burgers, ribeyes,
Beef back ribs,
lamb ribs, St. Louis style ribs, country style ribs,
tri-tips,
and chicken wings. Yeah, chicken wings are important, but you got to know how to do a whole chicken too. And today we're going to do a version of spatchcock chicken called frog chicken. Stay tuned. So we're at about 2.5 hours before I want to eat. About 30 minutes before I start the fire in the Weber kettle. So we have a few things we got to do. During this series, we've kept things pretty simple. No crazy marinades, no crazy sauces. Today we're going to use a simple rub that we love from Green Chili Smokehouse, their green chili rub and seasoning. Great flavor. When you're doing a whole bird, you want that thing to be moist, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Well, to ensure of that, you need to have a compound butter, and we're going to put together a real simple one right now. What I have here is an entire stick of butter that is at room temperature. Because I'm using green chili rub and seasoning, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of diced fire roasted Hatch green chilies. And then about a tablespoon of the rub I'm going to put on the chicken. We're going to get all that mixed together and then set it aside. That's done. Let's go get our bird. Now, I said before that frog chicken is a variation on spatchcock chicken, but why would you spatchcock a chicken? And what the hell does that mean? That means to spatchcock a chicken, you get yourself a real sharp knife, or even better, some good shears. You cut the spine out right here, and then you push down on this chicken. Why would you do that? Well, it's going to make pretty much the whole chicken an even thickness to where you're going to get even cooking. So your breasts and your thighs are going to cook at about the same rate, right? But that's sort of a pain in the butt, and there's a better way to do it. It's called frogging it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right here and right here to expose this rib cage. I'm not going to go all the way through, just a little separation to where I can get to the ribs and see them. Okay, now we're going to cut back. Let's get this skin out of our way. Using my badass Delstrong knife, there's a link down below. But anyway, now I'm going to pull back on this and I'm going to cut through some of those ribs. Okay, now we take our chicken, we flip it, and then we push down right here on the breasts. Hear that satisfying crack? Now you end up with something that resembles, in somebody's imagination, a frog. Ain't that prettier than spatchcocking?
Damn right.
Ain't that easier?
Obviously.
All right, next step. We're going to apply some coarse sea salt to the skin to draw out some of the moisture and help promote crispy skin. All right, this chicken is going back inside. We're going to let it set on the counter for about 30 to 45 minutes until we're ready to get it on the grill. Let's get the grill ready. We're now about 2 hours from when I want to eat. I know it takes about 25 to 30 minutes to prep the grill, and then we want to have time for the bird to rest at the end and time to carve it up, and it's going to cook for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So now's the perfect time to get the fire going. This chimney here is filled with lumped charcoal, and we're going to give this about 15 minutes to get ready, and then we'll be back for the next step. We'll see you then. The coals are just about ready. Let's get our chicken prepared. First of all, that salt that we put on the skin has drawn out some moisture. We're going to pat that dry. And then we're going to separate the skin from the breast, being very careful not to puncture the skin because it's going to hold in this incredible compound butter. Oh, speaking of that butter, when I went back inside, I opened the refrigerator and staring me right in the face was some minced roasted garlic. And I thought to myself, who the heck doesn't love garlic? So I took a tablespoon of that and I mixed it into that compound butter. I've updated the recipe, so it's all good to go. All right, so you're simply going in here using your fingers and making yourself a pocket right above the breasts. Again, being careful not to go all the way through because we want a pocket here. We don't want any holes in the bottom where that butter's gonna run out. Are we gonna lose some? We are, but that's why we're using so damn much. All right, now we're gonna take half our compound butter and stuff it in this breast area. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing with the thighs and put half of what's left, a quarter of the total, into each side. Just get your fingers in there, separate the skin from the meat, real easy, and then stuff that in there. All right, that's done. Now we're gonna use that green chili rub and seasoning that we added to our compound butter and sprinkle that all over the skin. There we go, our frog chicken is ready for the grill. Now let's get those coals ready. First thing I'm gonna do is make sure that my bottom vents are about half open. We want about 300 degrees in there. If we leave that full open, it's gonna be up around 400, 460. So got those about 50%. Now we add our 2-zone basket and pour the coals in there. Now on goes the grate. And the lid with the vents about a quarter open. We're gonna let that go for about 10 minutes to let this thing warm up. One last thing for the chicken. The key to grilled chicken, especially breasts, is getting those at exactly 160 degrees. So the plan is we're gonna cook this till they hit about 155, 160. Then when we pull it off and it rests, that residual heat will bring it up to the 165 and we'll have succulent, moist breasts. But we got to know when we hit that temperature. So I'm using my wireless Temp Spike Plus thermometers. We'll stick one in the breast on each side. Getting that down right in the middle of the meat. Why put one on each side of the breast instead of in the thighs? The thighs can take a lot more temperature. And then also when we sit this on the grill, one side of this is going to be closer to the fire. Halfway through, we're going to rotate this around to get the even cooking. So we want to know when both those breasts hit at least 155. So then when we pull it, the residual temperature brings it up to 165 and it's safe to eat. So we'll see in about 10 minutes when it's time to get this on the grill. The grill's been heating for 10 minutes. Now let's get that bird on. Before we do that, you always want to spray your grill grates for 2 reasons: to keep your food from sticking and to make your cleanup easier. Since I'm going to use it later to promote crispy skin, I'm going to spray it down with some duck fat. I'm sure that was OSHA approved.
No.
Now let's get that beautiful bird on. The bird is going to go opposite the coals. Just like that, like a giant frog. Now, if we had food all around the grill, we'd be worried about these vents making a hot spot there because the cold air is drawn in the bottom of the kettle, it gets heated by the fire, and then it goes out the vents, causing a hot spot right under the vents. But since our bird is sitting in the same place, all the food's on one side, we're gonna put those vents directly over the bird because that's where we want the heat to go. So the lid goes on. Now all I gotta do is wait 30 minutes for the next step. So we'll see you then. We're about 30 minutes into the cook. One of the breasts, the ones closest to the coals, is reading 95 degrees while the other one is reading 87. So we're going to rotate that chicken to get even cooking. Now I'll tell you, don't even try and use tongs to do this. You're just going to tear up your chicken. Get yourself some cotton gloves, throw some nitrile gloves on top of those, and rotate your bird. And hey, as I'm doing this, a reminder, the recipe, there's a link for it down below in the description section. Take you right to our website, galleyofthesun.com, where you can get the full recipe. Oh, and you'll want it. This is going to be amazing. Let's get that bird rotated. Oh, we are looking pretty. Okay, rotate the bird. And then we're going to hit that with some duck fat to make sure we get that skin good and crispy. All right, lid goes back on and it keeps going until it hits about 155 in the breasts. It took just a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes, but we are there. The breasts have hit 155 degrees. Now we're going to get that bird off the grill and let it rest and let that residual heat bring it up to 165 so we make sure we have moist breasts. Again, just like last time, don't even try to do this with tongs. Get yourself some cotton liners, get yourself some nitrile gloves, and treat that chicken with respect. All right, we got it. We're going to loosely tent this, let it set for 10 minutes, and then we'll carve it and get some judgment from Charlotte. All right, the bird rested for 10 minutes, and then I carved it up. So we will get Charlotte out here to judge a piece of the white and a piece of the dark. I always cut those pieces too big for you girls. Okay, that's the dark. Is it moist and delicious? Mm-hmm. Okay, any idiot can do dark. The breast is the test.
That's good too. Oh, a little spicy.
There's some hatch green chilies in there. All right, but moist, tender.
Yeah, good.
All right.
Good flavor.
Hey, there you go. That is how you charcoal grill an entire chicken. You don't have to use hatch green chilies like I did. You can mix whatever you want with that compound butter. But the key is pull it when it hits 155. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. And until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.